The steep walls of the gully are now her cover for an ambush.
Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're counting down our favourite clips of the natural world from the many documentaries of Sir David Attenborough.
It's impossible to fight them all at once.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 20. The Brine Lake.
It's heavier than seawater, and it accumulates in great pools on the seafloor.
Far underwater, around some submerged volcanoes, a lake of brine has managed to form at the bottom of the sea. The briny pools are home to their own ecosystem, providing a fertile breeding ground for giant mussels, which are about 10 times larger than the mussels we usually eat. The mussels are also home to various deep-sea crustaceans.
Cutthroat eels, scavengers, come to the shores of the Brine Lake in search of something edible.
The most bizarre thing of all, though, is what happens when an eel ventures too close. As Attenborough explains, if an eel stays in the brine for too long, it proves toxic, and it can even die from the concentrated salt.
Spending too long in it can send an eel into toxic shock.
Luckily, this eel manages to escape, but its struggle makes for uncomfortable viewing.
The brine embalms their bodies, and the casualties of decades accumulate around the margins.
Number 19. Whales versus whales.
One deliberately stops swimming in order to enable the others to practice a particular skill.
Does the blue whale, the largest animal that's ever existed, yes, including all the currently known dinosaurs, have any natural predators? Well, that depends on whether you define this orca behavior as natural.
They hunt the largest animals that have ever lived. Blue whales.
Attenborough makes it clear that this disturbing adaptation has come about because of orcas needing to find new prey, but it was still remarkable to see it caught on camera. The killer whales, which are actually the world's largest species of dolphin, conduct a test run where they gang up on another and attempt to drown it.
The blue whale seems to have been caught off guard. Working as a team, the orca keep their victim's blowhole beneath the surface.
But all of this practice is for downing a blue whale, which orcas have been known to do since the early 2000s. Number 18. Turtles nesting.
They're all here for one reason, but their window of opportunity is short. So timing is everything.
Each year, giant turtles converge on an enormous sandbar that's only accessible for a few months, after which point it will be submerged in the river again. We follow one particular turtle as she searches for somewhere to make her nest that isn't already occupied by another expectant mother, and then observe as the eggs are laid and left behind to hatch on their own.
The early arrivals have already claimed nearly every inch of the beach, and there are still many more turtles to come.
Not the most maternal species, the adults simply leave and the hatchlings just have to get on with it. The hatchlings dig themselves out of the sand eventually and all take to the river, where one day they'll repeat the cycle themselves.
2 months on, and the hatchlings emerge into the world.
Number 17. Tiger cub wrangling.
For their first 6 weeks, most cubs usually hide away in their dens, hardly glimpsing daylight. These are unusually adventurous.
In this groundbreaking documentary, Indian elephants, one of the few animals not to be afraid of tigers, were equipped with subtle cameras. The footage captured was extraordinary, as the elephants managed to follow the lives of a mother tiger and her 4 cubs as they grew up.
She can bite with a force of nearly 500 kilos, but this requires the gentlest touch.
But the tiger has had a lot of work on her hands, or paws, because the cubs kept trying to escape. Over and over again, we see them tumble over the rocks as the mother comes to retrieve them, only to find that, behind her, another is already trying to make its way to freedom. But don't worry, none of the cubs were any worse for wear or making it to adulthood.
With 2 back in the den and 1 on its way, there's only 1 straggler left to worry about.
Number 16. Kung Fu Mantis.
Whether an individual mantis survives or not is partly a matter of chance.
There are over 2,000 species of mantis, varying in size and color, but these fearsome bugs do have predators of their own.
A mantis is born with exceptional eyesight, but a spider's is even better.
This minuscule mantis is forced away from its original leaf by its brash siblings, and finds itself being stalked by a tiny jumping spider. On these cameras though, the jumping spider appears as a formidable threat. The mantis escapes the spider after engaging in a sport of martial arts.
But this mantis has a surprising line in self-defense. Kung Fu, praying mantis style.
But comes face to face with something even more dangerous, another, much larger mantis.
In 2 months' time, it will be as big and beautiful as this orchid mantid.
It's snatched up and eaten, revealing just how ruthless the natural world is, even for the tiniest creatures. Number 15. Dolphins go hunting.
Vigorously pumping their tails, they work up some speed. And then they hydroplane.
Dolphins hunting for fish along coastlines sometimes exhibit this bold but bizarre behavior. They're able to glide in the shallow water right where the tide comes in and snatch up those fish, putting themselves in serious danger of getting beached.
Their momentum carries them right through the shallowest waters and onto the fish.
Sometimes they also lie in wait right at the edge until a fish gets near enough that the dolphin can snatch it. There's a reason dolphins are known as some of the most intelligent animals in the world, and adaptive behaviors like this are just one part of it. The dolphins also teach the technique to other, younger dolphins watching.
Younger dolphins lie alongside, watching. But so far, only 8 individuals here have mastered this daring technique.
Number 14. Horse battle.
With him come his females. If he can't provide them with water, they will leave him for the white stallion, who already dominates this pool.
Did you know that wild horses sometimes fight each other? Though we usually think of wild horses as skittish and easy to scare in the rugged ecosystem of Nevada, Mustang stallions compete for control of watering holes and fight off other males that get too close. This is so that they can keep all the mares for themselves. In this clip, a challenger arrives, a black stallion aiming to usurp the white one, controlling the current watering hole.
There is everything to lose. A broken leg or a shattered jaw would mean a slow and painful death.
The fight is brutal, with the horses even trying to bite each other as they sparred. But after all that, the black horse wins when the white one misses him and backs down. Whoever said horses aren't polite?
A missed kick, and it's all over. The new arrival has won. And his prize is more than just a chance to drink.
Number 13. Shell swapping.
Suitable empty shells are few and far between. And this one is far too spacious for this crab.
Have you ever wondered how hermit crabs find new shells that are the right shape and size as they grow? This clip from Life Story has you covered in that case, as Attenborough narrates a gathering of crabs on a beach as they gear up to swap their shells with one another.
Other crabs, also looking to upgrade to a bigger home, soon gather whenever a shell washes ashore.
With a new shell available, the others watch and wait until the elaborate exchange can begin.
They arrange themselves into an orderly queue. The biggest at the front, smallest at the back.
It's one of the most interesting natural phenomena ever caught on camera. devolving into something reminiscent of musical chairs, as they all jostle for the perfect shell.
This triggers a chain reaction. Each crab hurriedly moves into the shell vacated by the crab ahead of it in the line.
Alas, they don't all get one. One crab is left with a worse shell than it started with, even after all that.
But even a bad shell is better than being homeless.
Number 12. The Moray eel strikes.
It's the crab's deadliest enemy.
More crabs. These specimens live across the west coast of the Americas, but most notably in the unique Galapagos Islands. Attenborough catches up with them in Brazil as they embark upon their daily trek across the shoreline's rocks in search of food.
Crossing the land to reset the ambush.
But it's not all smooth sailing. A natural predator of the Sally Lightfoot crabs, the Moray eel, rears its head. These monsters hide underneath the rocks and leap out to snare passing crabs. It's not just eels either. Deadly octopuses also lie in wait, attempting to wrangle a crab dinner for themselves.
An octopus, also a crab killer.
Most miraculous of all, though, is that all the crabs do this twice a day because they have to go back again.
Risking life and limb to graze on these seaweed pastures. But in 2 hours' time, when the tide starts to turn, they will have to run the gauntlet all over again.
Number 11. Polar bears playing.
They sniff closely to size each other up.
Like many apex predators, polar bears are largely solitary, living most of their lives alone. But they do have to encounter one another every so often when they mate, and their courtship rituals can be elaborate.
Courtship is one of the few times that adult animals play together.
A male and female cross paths and begin testing one another, with the female challenging the male to perform various feats that she manages easily in order to see whether he's a suitable partner.
This slope is rather steep for the heavier male.
But it's not all serious. The bears take the time to enjoy themselves in the wilderness, sliding down a snowdrift together. It looks so fun that you almost want to join in, until you remember that they're some of the most dangerous animals on the planet.
But she seems to have decided that he might be the one, whilst he seems to have lost interest.
Number 10. Christmas Island.
Their ancestors came from the sea, but most have now adopted a land-based existence.
On this island just south of Java, in the Indian Ocean, the crabs are fighting a long war against an invasive species of ant.
And the March of the Red Crabs is one of the greatest natural spectacles on Earth.
The ants attack the crabs while they make their annual pilgrimage to their oceanic breeding spots, covering them with acid until the crabs eventually succumb to the torment.
Yellow crazy ants. They escaped from visiting ships, and with no predators to control them, they have now created vast super colonies in the forest.
It's a dreadful way to die, with the crabs left with no choice but to try and race the ants to the beach if they want to survive. Lately, humans have been trying to eradicate the ant colonies with insecticide treatments to try and rescue Christmas Island's indigenous animals from their toxic tyranny.
Humans brought these ant invaders here, and now humans are having to control them.
Number 9. Slug love.
An ash-black slug. Up to 30 centimeters long, these are the largest land slugs in the world.
Have you ever seen a pair of slugs breeding? These particular giant slugs live in the temperate rainforests that litter the west coast of Britain and parts of Ireland.
It lays down a trail of slime, which carries powerful chemical signals. The scent is an irresistible invitation to another ash-black slug.
but slugs are far more interesting than you'd think if you're mostly worrying about whether they're going to get into your vegetable garden. All slugs actually have both male and female reproductive organs.
Preliminaries complete. An overhanging branch provides a hold for the consummation.
These slugs entwine themselves and exchange bodily fluids both ways, and then, when it's all over, they plummet to the ground. Some slugs can even bizarrely impregnate themselves and reproduce asexually if they can't find a mate.
Twining together, each becomes as long as the rest of its owner's body.
Number 8. Pallas's cats.
Top of the menu are voles and gerbils.
All cats are deadly if you're the right size for them to want to eat you, but they're also some of the laziest creatures in the animal kingdom.
Never mind, there are plenty more. He just needs to stay focused.
This is true for Pallas's cat, which spends most of its time sitting around waiting for prey to get too close and then lazily attempt to chase it, usually to fail. It's no surprise, watching the activities of wild cats, that some of them chose to domesticate themselves as our pets thousands of years ago.
That could be one shake too many.
Pallas's cat remains entirely wild though, so don't try to stroke one if you're in their natural habitat. In the end, the gerbils live to see another day, and Pallas's cat goes hungry once again.
Only 1 hunt in 3 by a Pallas's cat is successful. No wonder he has the reputation of being the grumpiest cat in the world.
Number 7. Leopard seal attacks.
Occasionally, the seal comes out onto the ice and attempts to grab one.
Emperor penguins live in the most hostile environment on Earth, Antarctica. But it's not just the frigid weather and long winters they have to worry about. They're common prey for leopard seals, one of the most vicious predators in the oceans, which stalk the icy shores and lie in wait.
It hides behind a corner of ice. The emperors gain confidence and make a dash for it.
On land, the seals and penguins are both slow, but underwater, the playing field is leveled. Penguins swim quickly, but so do seals, giving chase. Once it has its meal, it leaves, and the rest of the penguins are able to swim to safety and return to the rest of the colony.
Almost invariably, it makes a kill.
Number 6. Boulder Cam.
Boulder Cam was first used in a film that spied on lions. Now it finds a new generation to entertain.
It's not often in the BBC's prestigious wildlife documentaries that you get a glimpse of how the sausage is made. But in this clip, a pride of lions managed to get their paws on a camouflaged camera inside a remote-controlled boulder. Even big cats are playful, especially cubs, and these young lions thoroughly enjoy their time chasing the boulder around.
Boulder Cam doubles up as a baby walker.
Some of the adults get involved too, sating their natural curiosity while the boulder operator tries to move it away before it gets broken. After all, it's not like you can send the lions a bill for any damage they cause. Number 5. Antarctica's greatest thieves.
To construct one, they need pebbles. And without a good-looking nest, a male will be unable to attract a female.
Many birds have a penchant for thievery, magpies chief among them. But did you know that penguins are also criminally inclined? These Adélie Penguins are practicing a courtship ritual where they each build the most elaborate and impressive nest of rocks, something always guaranteed to catch a lady's eye. But what happens if another penguin has hoarded all the best rocks for himself? Well, they turn to crime, of course, pinching the rocks while their rivals are distracted and taking them to their own rock piles.
The one who has been robbed seems unaware that the thief is just over his shoulder and looking for more.
The brazen bad behavior is something you can't help but respect.
The thief's nest is coming along nicely, probably because he keeps a particularly sharp lookout for robbers. After all, it takes one to know one.
Number 4. Sea toad.
It is an ambush predator with an enormous mouth and infinite patience.
This bizarre creature lives on the seabed, where it waits for prey to get too close and promptly snaps it up, much like a toad on land, only without the long tongue. It's the same color as Mr. Blobby, and it's just as eerie, especially when it stands up and begins to walk on some of the strangest feet in the animal kingdom.
They help it shuffle about on the seafloor.
And keep an eye out for the spider crab cameo in the background. The sea toad hardly moves at all, only repositioning itself occasionally while it seeks out more food. A moment later, we see something else unusual, a deep-dwelling octopus that forages for worms on the ocean floor.
It hovers just above the surface of the mud as it delicately sifts through it, searching for worms.
Number 3. An impala escapes.
Slowly it does it.
This leopard has left its arboreal habitat in order to hunt on the ground, and has an impala in its sights. She approaches slowly, but prey animals have excellent senses, so it's not easy for the leopard to get the jump on its quarry.
To succeed here, she needs to find prey grazing close to the edge. Or better still, in the gully itself.
Eventually, she finds a vulnerable impala and springs into action, seizing the beast and dragging it down into the ditch. But that's not the end of the story. Miraculously, the impala escapes the literal jaws of death, thwarting this powerful predator and living to graze for another day. It's rare that, in a fight between an impala and a leopard, the leopard loses.
Except it isn't.
Number 2. The Fangtooth.
This is Fangtooth. It has the largest teeth for its size of any fish.
The vicious Fangtooth has teeth so large that it isn't able to close its mouth, which isn't a fate we'd wish on anybody. It lives in the ocean's midnight zone, hunting the bioluminescent creatures that occupy these depths.
It's the midnight zone's most voracious fish. But prey use light as a distraction.
It's a frightening fish you wouldn't want to come face to face with, though luckily, you probably never will, since the shallowest depth they ever approach is still 600 feet below the surface.
A decoy of luminous ink.
And even more thankfully, most adults seem to be around 6 inches long. Though, like many of the deep ocean's mysterious denizens, we're not sure exactly how big they can grow. Number 1. Lions vs. hyenas.
He's trapped by over 20 of them.
This young male lion isn't quite all grown up and has left the pride's territory for the first time. But it's a mistake, because he soon finds himself besieged by a gang of opportunistic hyenas.
The pack tries to wear him down. This number of hyenas could kill him.
Forget what you saw in The Lion King. In reality, lions and hyenas don't make friends. And even a lion is no match for this many hyenas at once. Luckily for him, help soon arrives.
His ally, Tartu, has heard the commotion.
A second male lion comes to assist, with 2 lions being too much for the hyenas to deal with. The lions are saved, comforting each other after their ordeal.
Red is lucky.
Let us know your favorite David Attenborough series in the comments below.